Here's a, I don't know if you call it a light-hearted video or a funny video, but this is more of a response. This is in response to one particular guy from India, young man, who has been religiously sending me threats that he will destroy me, he will destroy my life, destroy my family, destroy my brand, destroy my groups. He'll make sure that I run out of business. And, the reason being is he got booted out of my WhatsApp groups. And not only that, he has also threatened certain members whom he had a scuffle with. He will destroy them personally. Personally, he'll destroy them. He's given the names of the members. So now, I know some of you say don't give importance, but let me address it so that you understand. Now, here's the thing. Let's assume the guy is really someone powerful. He's a mafia member or some underworld or he's some really powerful guy. Okay, let's assume. See, one thing I'll tell you, someone who's powerful, no? Powerful, rich, influential, famous, they don't have to tell what they will do. They will do it. You can just Google search the murders in Kotao Islands, Khotao, Kotao Islands, or whatever. Or here in Samui, the islands where I stay, every day there's a death. Every day, not an exaggeration. Every day there's a death or an accident or missing person. A person is missing straight off. Okay? And most of them remain unsolved. Like, you can say it was an accident, but how do you know it was not done on purpose? And Kotao, which is more infamous, it's controlled by certain groups. If you, for lack of a better word, if you're too noisy or bringing attention to yourself, bad things can happen. There have been mysterious deaths, murders. Okay? Forget there. Most of these countries, even US, how did Epstein die? You think it was suicide? How do you think most of the powerful people, forget Epstein, think of anyone powerful, how do they die? Anything, like Iran's big powerful leaders through a drone. Okay, so the point I'm trying to say is if someone has to get rid of you, they'll do it in seconds. This is not an exaggeration. If you check the video numbers that I have, there are certain numbers missing. Why? Because there have been certain individuals who gave me a very polite phone call and said, "Hi Loy, how are you? Fine." Very polite. And they communicated a certain message. Hey doggy. They communicated a certain message. And I knew for a fact who I was dealing with. And very politely they said, just bring down the video or, we can get uncomfortable. They never give death threats or anything. Now, I'm not talking of those people who requested politely to take down the video, which is understood. Some cases, they compensate me by saying, okay, this is for the trouble of putting the video, which is my normal charge. Please take it out. Fine. Yeah, we don't want issues and problems. Someone is compensating me, fine. You do your thing, I do mine. But if it is, let's say, a news article, I'm speaking about news, and you're threatening me with this and that you can't do anything because a newsworthy, this thing, I'm reporting the news. I'm not, you have to go to the news source. But then there are those videos which I know who I can't mention. They said, see Loy, just take down the video. That's it. They would not say much. I'll tell you, I know. I've spoken to them on video. I've seen their face. It's not a deep fake. This is before deep fake became a thing. And for a video, you wouldn't want your wife, your kid, or you to go through anything. I'll tell you, I have that WhatsApp group which is blood, gore, and ogreish. Some of the executions performed by the cartel, you know, when you go to a butcher shop, they show you how they chop meat. these people are alive. They're not dead. They're alive. And they do such horrendous things. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it. I can't even describe. It is that. Whew. So the point I'm trying to say is, someone who has to do something bad to me will do it without saying. They will not talk. They'll not threaten. They'll just do it. Like, in the movie American Gangster, Idris Elba, that was during his, same guy who acted in Thor. He's a famous actor and DJ, by the way. So in this scene, he is in Denzel Washington, he's playing in that role. So Denzel Washington, that's his area or something like that. So this guy, Idris Elba, is another gangster. He's going around, I don't know, asking, give me the money or whatever. So Denzel Washington wants to prove a point. He says, you wait here. It's a very iconic scene. He goes, takes his gun, and true story, this is taken from a true story. So he goes up to Idris Elba and says, I don't want you here or something like that. So Idris says, what you'll do in front of all these people? Because he saw his gun. He said, what you'll do in front of all these people? You're going to shoot me? You want to shoot me? And then he says, shoot me here. Takes his gun. I don't know whether he holds it. He said, shoot me here. Okay? And you normally think that he'll just hold the gun and say, yeah, you better not do it. Denzel Washington just takes, just shoots, finish. He's dead. In front of everybody. And then Denzel Washington comes back and sits quietly. And he's talking as if nothing happened. Very iconic scene. You must watch that on YouTube. Denzel Washington, Idris Elba, American Gangster, shoot him. Just type that. So the point I'm trying to say is, someone had to do something. They'll just do it. They don't have to warn, nothing. But as far as our Indians go now, our Indians the bark is worse than the bite. They'll always bow, wow, wow. You see some dogs that bow, wow, 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 wow. But when you walk towards them, they run away. That is why an Indian, you see even political gangs, they'll never go alone. They'll go with 10, 20 people. They'll act like big thugs. Have you ever seen in India a gangster walk alone in an area? No, fuck. People will take knives and hockey sticks and rods and murder him. That's why they'll come in large numbers. So, our Indians, strength comes in groups. And when there are no groups, they come by being anonymous. Like this person who's sending me. He's trying his level best to hack into my accounts. When you type, forget your password, then they send, okay, send me the password, send me alternative. So he's trying to get my password or link or something. He's trying to overcome the two-factor authentication. Now, it's not that you can't. It's not that a hacker cannot hack into my accounts. Yes, there are professional hackers who can do that. 100%. You don't even have to be a professional hacker. Just a baseline hacker. But to be smarter than Google's, fail-safe, this thing, you really have to be experienced in that. So it's not that it has not happened. If Prime Minister Modi's account can be hacked, anybody's account can be hacked. Okay? So I don't discount them and I don't, disrespect them. There are professional hackers. But for a guy with a keyboard and mouse, anonymous, staying with mom and dad and struggling to pay your bills, you cannot. So he's trying through. I've done two-factor authentication. I've done, the USB key and codes and all that is. And I've done my due diligence. Still it happens. We'll see. Okay. So now that part is taken care of. So now the problem is, or the question is, am I not scared of this guy? See, like I told you, if someone has to do something, he'll do it. To me, my wife, my kid. What can you do about it? But does that mean just because I believe in that, I'm going to literally do something that will put them in harm's way? No. Common sense should prevail. Like there have been so many articles, there have been so many newsworthy stuff of very powerful people who have chosen not to speak about. In fact, when staying in a country, when I was in UAE, why I never put a video about any sheikh or Muslim? Because you don't want to, like they say, panga, you don't want to get into a tussle with someone powerful, someone with money, or someone who has contacts, connections. You just don't want, it's not worth it. It's a YouTube channel, man. So if I'm not looking to make trouble, that's one thing. But if you're a college student or you're a bum or you're just an unemployed guy, you can't do anything. And someone who keeps telling you, I will do this, I will do this, I will do this, you will not do it. Because the person who can do will never talk. I've been told this from a very young age. The person who can do will not talk, and the person who talks never does. Okay, that is why this happened in India. This actually happened to me during Gulf War. I was studying at in Mumbai, St. Xavier's High School Villa Parley. I was studying there for a few months. So there was this classroom filled with 100 all boys. It was a boys' school. So I was at the back benchers with, backbenchers, mostly gangsters. So sitting there, I was new, just doing my thing. And these gangsters were sitting there, and some of them were very loud and brash. Hey, chuti, hey, this or that. I was in 8th standard. I remember that clearly. So I was sitting there, and there was this one guy. I think his name was Abbas or something, Muslim guy from Mumbai. He was always quiet. He was minding his own business. But he was also a gangster who other guys got afraid of. But he would never talk. So all these other guys, they were talking and, prodding me, and because I was the new Dubai guy. And I was like, he. And I was like, hey, shut up, man. Hey, what you'll do? And because I never experienced gangsters. Okay. So they said, oh, we will show you, and we will do this, we will do that. And they were threatening me. And like, yeah, you show what you're gonna. So then one of them, seriously happened. One of them said, okay, you have guts, make fun of Abbas. So I knew Abbas. He was a guy with glasses. He used to always keep quiet. But I didn't have any problems with him. But I was like, okay, they're challenging me to do something to Abbas. Okay. So I turned around. I was turning around this way. So he was sitting there. So I turned around this way. And remember, it's a large room with maybe 10 or 12 desks, 100 students. Teacher doesn't know what's going on. So I turned this way. And I said, who's Abbas? So they pointed at him. So he looked at me. He was writing something. So he said, I don't care about Abbas. What he'll do. So Abbas just looked up at me and told me, boss, I remember, even today, he said, boss, don't play with me. Okay? Play with them, you don't play with me. Okay? I'm telling you just once. Don't play with me. So he continued writing. So I looked and they were like, oh, see, he told him. So, obviously my pride got hurt. So I turned around again, like shameless. So I looked front and then, like, what you'll do? He once again repeated very quietly, boss, last time, don't play with me. Okay? Telling you nicely, you're new, you don't know me, don't play with me. Okay? I'll not repeat this again. So once again I had to look front. I turned around and I just said, what? I just opened my mouth to say, what? This guy took his fist and in split seconds he gave me such a sock on my jaw. That was the first time I got a sock on my jaw. And you could say like a Tom and Jerry, it went this way and my head turned and everyone burst out laughing. And then the teacher was like, what is happening? And all. So everyone kept quiet and I saw stars. Really, I saw stars. I was like, huh? What? And, I just tried to gather myself. That was the first time I got shocked. And that guy kept quiet. I was like, good thing the teacher didn't see that, Adish should ask me what happened. So then after that, I didn't have the guts to look back. I just kept quiet. He didn't say anything. But you can be rest assured. After that, I never fooled around with that guy. Never looked back at that side. Never fooled around with anyone. And all of them laughed. They teased me, they mocked me. But I realized, okay, these guys may be harmless. But this guy, no, he doesn't fucking talk. Later on, I found out this guy is actually a hardcore kind of gangster, hardcore. He was jailed many times. His father was called, even though he's such a young boy. I was like, better not fuck around with him. So, just see, the guy who could do it never talked. But the guy who could, the guy who could do, he never talked. But the guy who, talked less, did more. And he did one thing and finish. In the same way throughout my life, I've met people through experience. The ones who can do, they don't talk. That is why in my earlier days, when I was young, I was to follow this Muhammad Ali strategy as to, public speaking, or as to mentally tell them, I'm going to fucking do this, I'm going to do that. Muhammad Ali used to always psych out his competitors. But what I learned through life, those guys, okay, they are psyching you up, and that is a strategy, psychological warfare. You can Google search even Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Frank Zane. That is why in boxing, when they are going to fight, the guys look at each other's face and they talk smack and I'll do this to you, to your wife, to your children. So they get them out of there again. The most famous one is Conor McGregor. Google search this one. Conor McGregor versus Jose Aldo. The guy who never lost for 10 years. This guy got into his head and destroyed him. And he destroyed him before coming into the ring. And Conor McGregor knocked him out in few seconds. A man who could not be touched only because of his words. Conor McGregor has that gift. But more dangerous than that person is, Google search this guy, Fedor, Fedor. The man who never spoke. He never said a single word. He never talked smack, never made fun of you, never challenged you. He just kept quiet. He used to walk like this. But one shot he'll give you. His name is Fedor Emelianenko. UFC MMA fighters will know who he is. He's a legend. He would never talk. He would always look down. He was always humble, smiling. But if he fought with you, you're finished. So, bottom line is this, man. Barking dogs seldom bite. And the ones who can do, they don't talk. Yes, there are people who can do and can talk. But through life, I've known, meeting gangsters, meeting hitmen. You may not believe me when I tell you this. I have coached ex-hitmen, ex-conmen, ex-gangsters. The guys who can do, they will never talk. They'll keep a low profile. You can Google search, I think there's one mafia guy, he has a YouTube channel now, I can't get his name. The guys who talk, they'll not do. But the guys who can do, never talk. So that is why, for me, this guy is another typical Indian who will blah, 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 blah. He'll continue until one day he meets someone who will not talk to him, but will do and show him. And that will be the last day he will buck. That's for a fact. Anyway, this guy, I'll be getting him back in the group of mine because he claimed he could destroy my members and destroy me. So I'll be getting him back to see how much of his threat he carries out. And if you're watching this video, my dear friend, please let me know your latest number. I'll add you back. So all of us want to see what you're going to do. So it's a friendly invite. Feel free. And like you said, you're going to destroy our lives and destroy us. Destroy me, my family, my career, my brand. Send me an email with your latest number. I'll add you. Let's see what you'll do. All right. You guys take care. This is me signing off. Ciao. And we are not going to harm you. That's a fact. We're going to be very courteous with you. But you said you're going to harm us, so we look forward to it. Ciao. You guys take care. Me signing off. Bye.